Hi, everyone. I'm retired meteorologist Pat Prokop, and today is Saturday, March the 15th. Beware of the Ides of March. Look over your shoulders. Looking over our shoulders in Alabama and Mississippi this afternoon, that's where things are getting really bad. A major storm system is moving and developing in those areas, and that will be advancing eastward over the next 24 to 36 hours. All right, let's go right straight into the maps. First of all, the advisories showing a lot of advisories going on across the country this afternoon. This is Saturday afternoon. And out in the western states, they have heavy snow warnings in effect for the mountains out there, and high wind warnings and winter storm watches and portions and winter storm advisories in portions of the Rockies. And then a blizzard warning in effect for the upper Mississippi River Valley, and high wind watches in effect for the Great Lakes states down into the Ohio Valley. And then over in Kentucky and Tennessee, a flash flood watch is in effect. But here's the concern now is this area right over in here, over into Tennessee, down into northern and western Alabama, Mississippi, and the extreme eastern portions of Louisiana. These are tornado watches that are in effect, and these red areas here are tornado warnings. Let's take a look at the radar summary from this area here. And there we can see an intense line of thunderstorms with lightning and moving off toward the northeast at this time. This area right in here is very intense, and it's just getting stronger as the afternoon progresses. What's causing this? Well, first of all, let's take a look at the jet stream, because this is a major player in this storm. Now, earlier this week, I showed you the jet stream coming into the Pacific Southwest. That is now over here in the south central portion of the country, and very strong with a lot of energy. All right, looking at that, let's go into the forecast map of the jet stream itself. That's right here. There it is right now. And anytime you have this fanning of the isotachs or the isobars, lines of equal wind speed or equal pressure, that's where you get a lot of lifting going on in the atmosphere. And the more severe the lifting, the more severe the storms can be. And there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere here as well. So what we have here is two things. One of the things I was taught in meteorology way back in the 1970s, that for a storm to develop, you have to have an engine and you have to have gasoline. And right here, this is the engine, this storm system right here, with the dynamic lifting of the atmosphere. And the gasoline, well, that's the moisture. And the more moisture you have, the higher the octane of the gasoline. And this system will be advancing eastward and getting a little bit stronger throughout the afternoon. And this is as of sunset for tonight, Saturday evening. Very intense over here in Mississippi, but more so in Alabama, moving into Georgia. Now, how will this affect our weather here in coastal Georgia and South Carolina? Well, overnight, that system will be sliding eastward. Now, fortunately, it'll be going into the quiet portion of the day, the morning hours. That's when we have the quiet weather conditions, quieter weather conditions. We don't have the afternoon heating to help with the lifting of the atmosphere, but there's going to be plenty of lift because of this storm system here, this wave coming on in, and that's going to be affecting our weather throughout the late morning and early afternoons with this system. All right, let's take a look at the radar summary from Columbus, Mississippi right now, because that's showing intense thunderstorms, a lot of tornado warnings in effect out in that area, and severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. These red boxes here, these are tornado warnings. The purple boxes are severe potential tornadoes on the ground there and moving off toward the northeast. Most of this is up in the Mississippi area. Here's the Mississippi-Alabama line right here. All right, let's go into the maps themselves and looking at the Storm Prediction Center. This is very unusual to see a high risk for severe weather across any areas, but this area for Mississippi and Alabama for this afternoon. This is a 5 out of 5 category, so this is the worst it gets. And the red area and even the orange area is bad enough as it is. And the orange area is a level 3 out of 5. That's over into western and central Georgia, an extreme northwest portion of South Carolina for today into midnight tonight. But this system is extremely strong. And for tomorrow, as this system advances eastward, again, it'll be moving into the region during the least amount of time, or the more quiet time of the day, the morning hours, so you don't get that afternoon punch of the heating of the atmosphere. But nonetheless, there is a level 2 risk out of severe weather out of 5, level 2 out of 5. Slight chance for severe thunderstorms across all of eastern Georgia, northern portions of the Florida Peninsula, most of South Carolina, most of North Carolina, and most of Virginia, going into West Virginia and into portions of Maryland. All right, let's take a look at the conditions right now. The National Storms Prediction Center has tornado watches in effect for Mississippi and Alabama. Let's take a look at just one of these because they're both the same, basically, the conditions for that. I need to put my glasses on because of the small print here. I want to read this to you, though, because it's very important. This is a particularly dangerous situation, according to the Storm Prediction Center out of Oklahoma, and numerous tornadoes and severe intense tornadoes expected. Scattered damaging winds and isolated significant wind gusts to 75 miles per hour likely. That's with the straight line winds. Scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events up to 2.5 inches in diameter likely. I guess that's the size of softballs. Baseball is a softball. Intense supercell capable of producing numerous tornadoes will spread eastward from Mississippi into Alabama this afternoon and evening, given the very favorable environment. I just showed you that. Multiple intense to potentially violent tornadoes, EF3s to EF4 or 5, appear possible. Clusters of thunderstorms and embedded supercells will also pose the threat for severe damaging winds of 60 to 75 miles per hour and large hail around 1.5 inch to 2.5 inches in diameter. All right, let's take a look at the forecast map itself. And this is the regional GEM model, the Canadian model, but it's pretty good, and it's a high resolution. It's called a CAM model, CAM, convective allowing models, and these models do a little bit better job when you have convection, which is thunderstorms. And let's put this into motion. This is right now, 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. There's that line of intense thunderstorms across Mississippi, approaching Alabama, moving into western Tennessee and southwestern Kentucky. All right, let's put this into motion, and there you can see the storms actually get stronger across Mississippi and western Alabama throughout the afternoon hours into the evening hours. This is now at 9 o'clock this evening. That'll be 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time, but 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Shows in a very intense line of thunderstorms. These will have the potential of generating damaging to violent tornadoes across Alabama. And then that moves into western Georgia into the early morning hours. This is at 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning, 1 a.m. Sunday. So you can see it moving into the Atlanta metropolitan area, then Columbus, Georgia metropolitan area. This will be at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then by sunrise right here, this is at 8 o'clock in the morning. We have an intense line, but it's weakening a little bit because it's that time of the day, the morning hours, when you have the least potential for severe weather. But it's strong enough because of the dynamics of the atmosphere. So we might have an intense line of thunderstorms extending across eastern Georgia into central portions of South Carolina at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, advancing eastward throughout the late morning hours. Here we're reaching the coast still as an intense line of thunderstorms right around 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning. We're on daylight time now. 11 o'clock in the morning, 15 Zulu if you want to go with the Greenwich Mean Time. And then by noon, it's on the coast, and then by afternoon, it begins to move offshore. All right, let's take a look at the conditions for how much precipitation. Well, it's going to be a fast-moving storm, so there won't be a lot of precipitation, but we could see up to about an inch of rain across our area. Let's take a look, and there it is. And it's showing about just that, 3/4 of an inch to about an inch and a quarter across portions of central and eastern Georgia, eastern South Carolina. A lot more over into Tennessee and Alabama and Mississippi, where they might see up to 4 to 5 inches of rain, because they're going to get storm after storm after storm piling up out there. They might get hit by 2 or 3 3 severe thunderstorms, any location, not just one, but 2 or 3. They could have 2 or 3 tornadoes during the next several hours across that area. All right, let's advance into time and look at the cloud cover. We see fair to partly cloudy conditions right now across our area of Georgia and South Carolina. There's that intense line of thunderstorms. And then this system comes in across our region throughout the day on Sunday morning, going into Sunday afternoon. And then by Sunday night, it starts clearing on out. And, we have all the St. Patrick's Day festivities going on. Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon might be a little bit on the problem side for all the outdoor activities. But what about the big parade on Monday morning? Well, the sky clears out. We have some partly cloudy skies, so fair to partly cloudy weather conditions will prevail, and cooler air will be flowing in across the region. So let's take a look at the forecast for St. Patrick's Day. Here's my forecast calling for fair to partly cloudy weather conditions, becoming mostly sunny by the afternoon hours. Now, during the parade, the temperatures will start off, the parade starts at 10:15, so right around 10:15, it'll be about 57 degrees, so a little bit chilly. You might want to have a jacket or a sweater to go along with that, or a sweatshirt. 63 by the end of the parade, that's just somewhere around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the high temperatures will be warming into the only upper 60s, about 67, 68 degrees for the high for all the afternoon festivities going into the evening hours in downtown Savannah and local homes and friends. But the winds, it's going to be a little bit on the breezy side, on almost windy side on Monday. Winds will be from the west-northwest at 9 to 18 miles per hour throughout the morning and afternoon hours, and then diminishing during the night. All right, let's go to my website, savannahpat.name. And there you can see lots of great weather information there for my area of southeastern Georgia, southern South Carolina. And you can also join my email list if you want to receive notifications of severe weather events or videos that I have here. I just sent one out showing the full eclipsed blood moon that had the other night. Anyway, you could do that. You don't have to, but if you want to, receive these messages. Anyway, here's the forecast, and we got a 90% probability of precipitation tomorrow. That's really 100%. It's going to rain tomorrow. Question is, how much rain and how severe will the winds be associated with the thunderstorms? Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow morning and going into early in the afternoon, that will be under a tornado watch across eastern Georgia and eastern South Carolina. And I know the churches hate hearing that, tornado watch during church services time. Anyway, just keep in mind, we most likely will be under a tornado watch tomorrow morning. And then going into Monday, St. Patrick's Day, clearing off, again, breezy temperatures in the middle 60s for the high. And then Tuesday, clear weather. Yeah, you're right. Wednesday's clear. Tuesday, rather. 72 degrees, 45 in the morning. And then fair weather all of next week, it looks like, with temperatures right around upper 60s, lower 70s, which is close to normal for this time of the year. And looks like we're going to stay normal, near normal for the next 6 weeks, slightly below normal, I guess, for early April. But then going into the end of April, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good out there for that. All right. So with that being said, I hope you all have a great time during all the great St. Patrick's Day festivities here in Savannah. And remember, it's a religious holiday. Keep that in mind. And the weather is going to be, it could be violent tomorrow morning. It might not be. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Again, it's moving in during the morning hours, which is the more quiet time in the day. If it slows down for any reason, the system slows down for any reason and moves in mid to late afternoon, then the storms could be even stronger. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But hopefully it'll come through sooner, but we'll just have to wait and see. And again, happy St. Patrick's Day.